rubbing chalk dust between the grooves of his fingertips while he peeked over the frame of his glasses. My English teacher said to me out loud in front of my classmates, "Pauleanna, was this difficult for you?" When I heard the murmurs and the gasps, I literally could feel the air being sucked out of the room. Out of embarrassment and disappointment, I lowered my head and tried to ignore the criticism around me. That was 2005. I was in grade 12, and during my senior year and every year prior, I attended summer school, sometimes even night school, because I failed so many classes that if I didn't catch up, I wouldn't have graduated on time. What most of you don't know about me is that I grew up with a learning difference. Up until my high school years, I struggled with reading and comprehension. Even now, as an adult, I exhibit traces of a processing deficiency, which means that my brain has trouble interpreting information gathered by my senses. There are members of my family who share the same experience, but nobody ever talks about it. And so I was bullied by my classmates in school, and the teachers weren't that far off the mark either. You know, instead of helping me, I was labeled and criticized. Instead of exploring some of my wildest dreams, my guidance counselors told me that I should play it safe with my career choices. Anytime I'd read the textbook, I'd have to read it over and over and over again because it seemed as if the words were floating off the page. And oftentimes my study sessions would end with me slamming the book shut and just accepting the fact that I was going to fail yet another test. I was called dumb, I was called slow, and I was yelled at because I couldn't keep up with the curriculum and I asked too many questions. And my grades? Well, I recently went to my high school to pull my transcript. Straight 50s and 60s across the board, grade 9 through to grade 12. In my later years, I battled anxiety, depression, and suicidal thoughts. I felt like I was constantly spiraling and I felt like I was out of control. I decided to drop out of college and turn the world into my classroom because I did not align with traditional teaching methods. I thought this would be the best option for me to preserve my mental health and regain my sense of self. And now, as a mature adult with a storied life and career, the one thing I wish I knew then that I know now is how to hack my brain. In high school, when I struggled academically, it was very clear that nobody was coming to save me. It was very clear that nobody gave a fuck. And so it wasn't until my 20s, my late 20s, that I really discovered different learning styles. And I really honed in on my own, the ways in which I learn, as well as how I retain information. You see, when you understand how your mind works, that is when you become unstoppable. That is when you become limitless. And so my unique journey requires me to move a little bit slower and intentionally, and that's okay. The world sees Pauleanna Reid, the brand, the Forbes writer, the entrepreneur and business owner, the mentor, the sister, the friend, all things to all people. But a lot of people don't realize that it takes a lot for me to show up each and every day, and I've had to put methods and techniques in place just so I can move throughout the world as swiftly as I do. If I didn't say anything about my learning difference, you would never know because my confidence, girl, it speaks volumes, and I focus on the upside. And whether I'm working on a project or entering a room, I make that shit work for me. So this one is for my underdogs. I want you to understand that success is the result of many different formulas, and no one formula is better than the other. I'm at the top of my game running $1 million brand simply because I have unwavering belief in myself. I could have ate the shit that they fed me and accepted my fate by just playing it safe. If you've been on this journey with me for a while now, then you understand that I like to talk about hard truths. I like to normalize difficult conversations because so many of us tuck away parts of ourselves out of fear of being judged. Girl, I could care less what people think about me. Just because I'm sharing this insight with you does not make me any less of a woman or a CEO. I hope that over time, as I reveal parts of myself through my content, it shines a light bright enough for you to find your inner confidence too.